Hi guys, and welcome back. So let's go into a story of my mother. Now I live with my parents, and I pretty much always have. When I came back, like I was at uni, and then I came back and I was here with my parents. I have been here for years, and I keep having these kind of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this, and I keep feeling like I get so close, and every time I'm so fucking close, it just but yeah, so let's go from this. Let's say the problem with living at home, and then we'll go to why I can't go anywhere, and then we'll go on the knock-on effect. So, problem with me living here is with my parents is my mum is an alcoholic, and she has been an alcoholic. Like, I can visibly remember her, like, 26, not 26? Maybe about 27, actually. 27, 28. Because she had a tiny cake. I can remember my mum from my childhood visibly drunk. And it's changed throughout the years, and it's got more, you know, and I didn't really notice until it started like being directed at me, you know. And she'll have to drink from the moment she wakes up, when she has the shakes. And you know, anyone who is living with addiction or living with someone who has an addiction, you know, it's tough. It's not easy. Like, and it's, you know, it's not helpful for people to be like, well, you're bad and you're this. And so I'm not in any ways trying to say anything how people should live their life or anything like that. I'm just saying, this is my story, and this is how it's affected me, and this is, you know, how I feel about it all, okay? So don't come at me. So not only is she an alcoholic, I'm pretty certain she has mental health issues. And I'm pretty sure it's bipolar. But, you know, she refuses to get help or talk to anyone, or it's hard to know. But I have a friend with bipolar, and so it seems somewhat similar. But I also feel like she has just a whole bunch of crazy, because I was talking to my dad about it, and like the stories that I was being told from when she was like younger. So my mum was 20 when she had me, and I'm the youngest of 3 children. And so my dad had said to me that when she was pregnant with me, they got in an argument, and she would threaten that she would get a coat hanger and give herself an abortion. Now this woman couldn't have been on alcohol at this point, you know, she was just straight up fucking crazy, you know, like, it weren't at the point where she is now. And she is 44, so, you know, it's wild. Now, the all sorts of crazy shit, and she's had a troubled childhood from what I've heard. Not that she's personally told me, but the stuff that I've been told. So I can understand that there's some sort of issue, but I do feel like, you know, at some point you need to go and get help, and even just have therapy, right? And I feel like our generation, or my generation and those younger, like, mental health is more spoken about, and so we're probably a lot better at talking about our feelings, and maybe feeling less ashamed about it, though there is still stigma, and there's still, you know, it's hard for anyone. But yeah, so we've got mental health and we've got alcoholism, and it's just not a mix for anyone. And it used to be, it'd be like, oh, just drinking in the evening, and I can't, I have a very difficult time remembering my mum as like a sober person who's nice and loving, you know. Not that my mum didn't love me, you know. You know, she tried. She tried what she was capable of, you know, and she gave that. But like when I look at the woman I live with now, that's not my mum. And we've tried all sorts, you know, and I feel like there's so many like approaches that I don't know, it's difficult. And she tends to have these episodes, so like drinking is like fine, you know, we'll go about and do our thing kind of, and then she'll have like a kind of manic episode and she's like whatever, and then she has like the depressive episode and she trashes the house and she sets fire to things and she'll throw your stuff out on the street and she'll hit you, and it's very you don't know, you might come home and your stuff's on the street, you don't know. And like the thing is, I have to go to work, I'm paying for this house, you know, and she sits at home and drinks, and I get she's lonely, and I get, you know, she's got issues, and you know, she's not having a great time, but I feel like, you know, she's doing it to herself and we try and help, and it's like, you know, no, like you can argue, well, she's been your mum and she's raised you and she doesn't need to pay for the house, but like, cool, sure, but can you appreciate that I am paying a big chunk of the way? You know, I'm paying for stuff. I'm not my own because my dad works too, but like I'm paying for stuff, and that doesn't. She tries and kicks us out, you know, and it's like, well, this is my house, you know, this is my home, and it's just like she'll hide our stuff as well, and then you can't talk to her about it, otherwise it'll trigger another episode, and you just have to pretend it doesn't happen, and it's like this kind of constant cycle of like hoping nothing happens, and then when it does, you just it's really fucking cowardly and shitty, but like that's my situation. I either shut up and hope that she either turns on my dad, or I say something and she turns on me, and it's like there is no winning, you know. It's like relentless. And like, you know, we're in lockdown right now and it's especially difficult, and I was like so fucking close to getting out, but you know, here we are. My siblings don't like her, and they don't talk to her. I mean, the reason why I went to uni was so I could get away from her, and so I could have like an immediate get out, and yeah, it's just like, if I could, I would leave and I would never speak to my family again, which is, you know, a shame. And I just have issues, and I have serious mummy issues, and like I dated this guy once, and like he had a close relationship with his mum, and I didn't realise that was normal and that people would like their parents or their mother even, and it made me really uncomfortable, and to this day I have mummy issues, and anyone who has, like I'm dating, if they have a close relationship with their mother, it makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me feel like, why are they so clingy? Like, why are they so does he want to fuck her, does she want to fuck her? Like, do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't, it's not healthy. I get it. I know it's my problem. I can see it's a problem, and I'll be like, alright, cool, no, you're just being crazy. It's fine. But I have issues because of that. I have a great relationship with my dad. It's fine. I'm like, cool, whatever. But yeah, I know it's a me problem though. But yeah, so I don't have a full-time job. I was like, I need to be doing creative things. I need to be painting, and I need to be playing music, and I need to make videos sometimes and do makeup, and I need that stuff to kind of keep my brain floating, you know? And I just need to bob on the surface and get by. I don't need to go anywhere far. I just need to just get by. That's all I need. If like certain stuff, you know, I can work all these hours but I'm miserable, and it's like I'll get suicidal, and I'll be like, well, what's the even point? So I work, or I, you know, work part-time job. I mean, it's kind of tricky right now because the hours or whatever, but like I work part-time job. Sorry, I've been just watching the clouds because it's so fucking peaceful. And it's like, but yeah, sorry. I have a part-time job, and that means that on my free time I have time to kind of mellow out and play music, and I would love to be a musician that can play for people one day, but even just playing to myself, and I'm very content, and it brings me so much joy, and I love it. That's one of my happy places. But being in this house, this negative energy, it just sucks out any joy from you, and it, you know, ruins what is keeping you going, that one thing that's trying to keep you going, and it's just kind of, and then you don't want to do it, and then you just get stuck in this kind of loop, and you have no motivation to do anything, and then there's this constant, and it's just like, oh my god, it's frustrating, and I just dream of a way out, by any means necessary sometimes, and you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I hate my mother, or at least I hate that woman who lives in my house. I don't know if I can ever forgive her either, which is awful. But like, it's had an effect on me where I would cry myself to sleep, and I would wish I was dead, and I'd be like, well, no, she'd fucking like that, wouldn't she? Because it gives her an excuse to be an arsehole and be dramatic, and I've cut myself over it. And you know, I've done stupid things that didn't help the situation, because I was like hurting, and I needed something to take my mind off my emotional pain and emotional baggage, and it didn't work, and it would make me feel even worse. And like, I realised that the only way is to either get her to change, and then I'm in a position where that's not going to happen, not right now, or I need to change and I need to get out of here. And so I am doing a lot in my power. I wouldn't say all in my power, because I'm not gonna fucking like run away from home, but I'm doing a lot, and I'm trying to do things so I can make enough money where I can get out of here, because my part-time job, where I can have enough time to work and do the things that make me happy, I only earn set amount a year, and this is what I earn. In order to get the basic shittiest flat, just a room, you need to be earning this amount. And if you aren't earning that amount, even though technically I can afford it by earning this amount, and I'd be like, yeah, getting by, you need a guarantor, and we've always been poor, and I don't know anyone who actually owns their house, so I can't get a guarantor that way. And so my only other option is to get savings, and so when I have a new month's rent in advance, then I'll be cool and able to do it. So that is my goal. And as soon as I'm like out properly, you know, it'll be good. And yeah, my battery's dying. Okay, my battery died, so that happened. But yeah, as soon as I am able to get out, I feel like I would be in such a happier place, and I'll be able to do more creative things, and I will achieve lifetime happiness. And then from then I will be able to, I think, try and talk to my mum about her problem, because whether you say something or you don't, there's always going to be drama, and you can't, I have nowhere to escape. And it's like, all well and good, people are like, oh, you can come stay at mine, but no, I need a long-term solution, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. But it's not really feasible, and especially right now in Corona, and I'm locked in with her, and it's like, and yeah, she's, you know, but that's where I'm at, you know. That's my life dealing with alcoholism and addiction from a parent, and I hope none of you have to go through this, and I'm sure some of you have been through worse, and you know, like, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I hope no one has to go through that. I just hope that it gets better. And on that miserable note, that's the end of this video. So thank you for watching, guys. Again, you know, thank you for sticking with it while I've been away. I appreciate it, and it means a lot. So stay safe and stay lazy.